as schools have closed and children are homebound. Staying vigilant regarding their whereabouts will be key. loveLife organization has urged parents and guardians to pay more attention to their children this festive season. We're now joined by Thilivhali Livhadi, Gauteng Provincial Manager for loveLife, to elaborate further. Very good evening to you, Thilivhali. Thank you for joining us here on the SABC.
Good evening to you and the viewers.
So during school holidays, and perhaps, as we await results and the school program to continue in just a few weeks' time, as loveLife, the organization, what is your call to action during these holidays?
Thank you so much. From exactly what you've said, that there are young people who are waiting for their results now, it talks about anxiety. High level of anxiety rises up because they are waiting for the results. And also making a call to parents that this is the time where young people are vulnerable to influences from other young people and from other people who are flocking back to home provinces from either Gauteng or other high economic provinces in the country. So you'd find that this is the situation, this is the time where young people are coerced into sexual activities, playing, underage drinking, and the use of drugs, and also issues of violence after drinking spree. We're still very fresh in our minds with the Enyobeni tavern incidences where it's precisely young people who are involved. So we are making a call as loveLife to our parents and guardians to make sure that they talk to young people. They know where their young people are going, who are they going with, because they are coerced by issues that they as young people cannot be able to manage because they're young people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think as we look at the concerns that arise, perhaps to avoid, tragedies like the Enyobeni tavern incident, amongst others, what should parents be on the lookout for during this period?
Thank you so much for the question. It doesn't start now. It starts by parents knowing their children, who your child is, who is your friend, your child's friend, where do they hang out, what behavior, what character is your friend's children's are, so that you are then able to speak to them about issues that that the friends of my daughters or my sons are having this kind of behavior. And this is where you then start talking to them about their vulnerability. So we encourage parents to, speak to young people or children to say, when you leave home, let us know where you are going. From that point to another point, where are you going? Let us have a trail of information or linkages where young people are going to play or are going to enjoy themselves. Let us have information of the parents of some of the children that our children play with. Let us also not let it become a family issue that I speak to my child only. We need also to involve neighbors. As parents, we also need to go to an extent of intensifying communication as parents with local structures, so that there are issues that you cannot deal with as a parent. Like, for an example, if you have local taverns in your area, individually, you might find it difficult to go and engage a tavern owner or business owners. But if you have a link or communication or relationship with community structures, you are then able to alert them or to advise them in communicating with business owners or tavern owners or these social event places like a resort and places like that, so that there is communication between those business initiatives and the community structures and the parents as well, so that we have this relationship. So if we have a broken communication and this linkage is not there, we then stand to deal with repercussions of our children drowning in waters, our children getting lost, our children involved in accidents. Young people are waking today, they come back home with flashy cars and they are influencing these young people. They want to ride from one village to another, one tavern to another. We need to speak about these issues as parents with our children.
Absolutely. I'm glad you've spoken about relationships, because as much as parents, who it is their right to, safeguard and protect, this includes guardians as well. It will be interesting to see what the conversation is from children towards the parents, so it's not just information imposed on them, but it's integrated. So you've spoken about that, the importance of relationships. And then as we look at the services of loveLife over the years, they can assist young people when they are in distress. I mean, how do they get involved in or in touch with these services? And ultimately also, what does the organization focus on?
Thank you so much for that. On the ground, we have our volunteers, we call them groundbreakers, who work with a crop of young people called mpinches. So we encourage our groundbreakers, our mpinches, to infiltrate, to be where young people are, to speak young people's language. That's when we ask or we train our groundbreakers and pinches to be able to offer guidance and advices to young people at that level. But when it's overwhelming, then they refer. And we also work with other community structures where they can refer. But we have our psychosocial support as loveLife, where we have a team of trained counselors where they can get hold of them through the WhatsApp line, or they send a call me to 083-323-1023, and our counselors call them back to engage with those young people who want to talk, would want to ask questions that they cannot ask anybody directly, but they can feel free to speak to our counselors. And we also have a parent line where parents should feel free to just call a toll-free number, which is 0800-121-900. Then they speak to trained counselors on how can I communicate with my children. I can see my girl is growing up, my boy is growing up, but how do I break the barriers of communication? So we have trained counselors who do that, and we have other programs like condom distribution at hotspots areas where we have interactions with various community people, community structures, where we engage them and try to refer them where necessary.
Well, thank you very much for the important work that you do, and thank you very much for your time here. Thilivhali Livhadi, Gauteng Provincial Manager for loveLife, urging parents and guardians to remain vigilant and pay more attention to their children, particularly during this festive season. Again, thank you very much to him for his time.